everyone. Welcome back to another Tuesday with Tom. This is webinar number 11. We're doing these weekly until I think the end of September, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to go forward with this. Let me know also if you want to be live with these so that you can do Q&A with me at the end or ask questions during these presentations and get some answers immediately. Otherwise, you can always reach out to me. There's a slide at the end of this presentation that has all my contact information on it, or you can reach out to me if you have any questions or anything that comes up during the webinar. Also, if you have something going on in your organization and you want your own webinar, just let me know and we could put that in, pop it into the queue, and make that up for you. So yeah, just let me know that stuff. This week is going to be legacy gifts. So we're going to be talking about how to get those, what they are, how to get those, two different ways to get them, and then go into the pros and the cons of them. There really aren't many cons, but it's how to really kind of get those into your queue, and it's a really good thing to have. And funders really like to see that you've got that kind of buy-in from your people. So without further ado, I'm going to start this. Let's see. Hopefully. There we go. So like I said, this is webinar number 11. We're going to talk about probate attorneys and those legacy gifts. So without further ado, let's move forward. All right. So the agenda is legacy gifts in the probate. Like I said, the essentials. Your donors will ask about it, and then how to talk to the attorneys. Gift types and the tax advantages, and when a probate is bypassed. So I'll explain that in a little bit. Funding counsel, helping donors reach qualified attorneys. So if they don't have someone already, how they can build that relationship and find attorneys that are qualified to do their estate planning like that, which this is. It's estate planning. The legacy ask, how to do that well, because really you're looking at somebody's legacy of their life being given to your organization. So you want to do that in a warm relational conversation that inspires them and isn't just kind of looking at how you're going to benefit from their life. So basically that's what that is. Attorney partnerships, how to make those partnerships and how to get their trust first, because you need to have that. You really do. And then how to put a package together to kind of not solicit, but to have them aware of who you are. So when they have clients come in that are planning, their end of life plans, that they can give you, the attorney can give that person package so they know what you do and all that good stuff. But I'll explain that a little later. And then your legacy fact sheet. It's a one-page thing for those attorneys to be able to give to their clients, and to give them the information that they need to be able to share your information. So what is a legacy gift? A legacy gift is an asset or financial contribution designated in a will or trust to support a loved one or a cause after the donor's lifetime. So it's known as a planned gift. It's a commitment made today, but will happen when that person passes. So it's not, it goes into your financials as I don't remember exactly how you designate that. I can get back to you on that, but I think it's just kind of forecasted financial. You can't really tell because you never know when somebody's going to pass, but it's kind of cryptic to think that way. But it is an asset to you, but it's planned. It's designated in a will or trust, and it's documented in the donor's own words. So this is what the probate attorney will put together that wording for them, or the donor will give them that wording, and then the probate attorney will attach that to the will. It takes effect after their lifetime, like I just said. It's not during their life. So there's ways that they can give gifts during their lifetime too. But this is just legacy gifts are just looking at after their lifetime. It supports family, charity, or both. So they direct exactly how that goes. You're gonna work that out as your organization with that person of what percentage of the estate that you will receive. And then the family breaks that up and all that other stuff, the rest of their estate. So how probate works? A probate is a court supervised process that settles an estate, and the executor or the attorney validates the will, confirming that it's authentic in court, settles the debts and taxes. It clears the outstanding obligations, any bills that need to be paid, any automobiles that need to be paid off, any property that needs to be paid off first from the estate, and then the rest goes to the family and to anywhere that person deemed it to go, charities or your organization, obviously. And then they distribute the gifts according to the donor's exact instructions. So if there's ever any changes in anything along the way, that donor needs to do that before this happens. Otherwise, it's going to go off of what is written by that probate attorney. How legacy gifts simplify probate. Understanding how legacy gifts interact with probate lets you guide donors with confidence. So you assign specific assets clearly matched to specific recipients. So, if they have something like a tractor they want to give you, that could be one of the assets that are assigned in that. Generally, it's like investments, investment accounts, IRAs, things like that, accounts that they have, even stocks and bonds can be part of that. It prevents disputes, especially with some of the families. It lessens the ambiguity among heirs and beneficiaries. So it's really clearly defined where everything goes, and that's the way it is now because it's gone through the court system. And it's understood that that's the language and that's the law now. Finalize efficiently, helping the court close the estate faster. So sometimes the estates can end up in probate for a long time if things are not done correctly. So making sure that this is all done right assures that closes faster, and then you'll have your money in your account quicker. Honor donors' wish is the biggest thing. Giving families peace of mind. So it allows or provides for the donor's wishes to be in the donor's words and distributed as the donor had said. So that's super important. And this is the same thing with family foundations. A lot of times this will go into the family will start a foundation to different causes and things like that. And then the money that comes from the estate goes into an investment account. And then that investment account deems dividends, and those dividends are distributed annually as grants. So that's how that works. But generally, with the legacy gifts, you're talking about a direct gift after the donor passes. Bequests versus probate avoidance. So sometimes they will decide that they don't want to go through the probate. So if you go through the probate, it's specific. You can leave any asset. So you can leave a vintage car or $5,000 to a person or charity. It's passed through the court supervised probate process. So it's streamlined and it's going to go exactly the way they said. They can bypass probate by naming a charity as a beneficiary on a 401k, an IRA, or life insurance, and it transferred straight to the recipient. No probate is required. It's better to go through probate because, like I said, it's going to be clean. And then there's any problems with family or anything like that that's going to dispute this because it can happen, and that money can sometimes be held up for years before you can actually get that into your accounts. So the best way is to go through probate. There's four types of legacy gifts. There's cash. That's going to be the dollar amount coming from their accounts, their IRAs, all that good stuff. Specific, an individual item that can be jewelry, that can be artwork, it can be a vehicle, like that. It's not going to be cash asset. It's going to be a solid asset, like a piece of equipment. Demonstrative, a sum paid from a specific account, such as a named bank fund that the donor put aside for you, then that'll be distributed to you after probate. And residuary, whatever remains after all the bequests are filled. So this is if there's leftover, that can be distributed. Usually that doesn't happen because everything, if the probate's done correctly, everything will be accounted for. Sometimes though, an investment will increase dramatically after the will is set. And if that increases dramatically like that, there's going to be residual, and that can be divided up. And a good thing to do with a good probate attorney is to have a percentage that's set up in percentages. So if there's residuary, you set it up as, 5% goes to the charities, 80% goes to the family, whatever it is, to 20% stays within the estate. I don't know. But that if you set it up by percentages, then when the estate is divided, those residuaries have to go into those percentage brackets, and then they're distributed that way. So that's how that works. Tax implications. Legacy gifts can significantly reduce the estate's tax burden, which is a great way to approach the donor and their family. Because if you cash out an IRA, you pay 10% on that automatically. This can take that IRA and take that off of the tax ledger, so that they don't have to worry about that. You're going to get that fund, but if it's designated that you're going to get $20,000, and instead of just giving you cash from the estate, they take $20,000 applied to the IRA, it's a wash on the tax. So that $20,000 will still go to you. It's a wash on the tax, and then they don't have to pay it either. So it's a huge benefit to the estate. Charitable deduction, gifts to qualified charities are deductible to the full extent of the law. So on top of not having to pay the taxes, they get a deduction on that amount. And it would be that IRA, $20,000, whatever that is. That would also be that whatever the law says that year for deduction would also apply to their taxes for the estate. Smart planning, it maximizes both the mission impact and tax efficiency. So yeah, if you guys have any questions on any of this, just let me know and I'll answer them for you. Why donors need professional counsel? It's important okay, there's going to be two ways of doing this. One way, you're gonna actually talk to the donor. They may be somebody that's donated to you for years, and they've decided that they want to set up their estate and be ready for their time. Or you're gonna, and I'm gonna show this a little bit later, you're gonna approach the probate attorneys themselves and go that way, and then back it into the donors. So they'll introduce you to the donors. But if you already know the donor, you suggest that they get a good probate attorney, because it's really going to make a big difference, especially for their family. Once that estate's going to settle, it's going to streamline. It's going to make it so it just goes like clockwork rather than, missing something in state law or whatever because you're not an attorney and it can be a big mess. So state laws and asset types dictate exactly how gifts are processed. Professional guidance protects everyone. So you want to a probate attorney will give you accurate documentation. The attorney ensures that wishes are properly recorded and executed. So that gives the family peace of mind. Local jurisdiction matters. Probate laws are highly specific to each area. So if you don't know them and they do it on their own, that can lead into a big problem if they make a big mistake in there. And I mean, sometimes the state can take part of the estate. So yeah, it's best to get an attorney with that. Search by county, focus on attorneys practicing where the deceased resided. So keeping that localized, make sure that they're adhering to those laws in that county, because there are county laws too, and there are county taxes and things like that too that happen. So you might as well get a professional in there to oversee that. Appoint donors to trusted tools, certified directories, bar associations, and professional search services so that that's your kind of gig. You want to be able, I'm going to give you those kind of directories and things like that. You want to point them in that area. So they have, when they're looking for their probate attorney, go to the local bar association, be very specific about what's going on and where that donor resides and all that good stuff. And then you could find an attorney that way for them. Unless they want to just do the search for themselves. But this is a good thing to have. Keep these webinars. They're always on my website. You can always go in and revisit these. I don't remember if it's downloadable from there. I can let you know on that. But we can, if you can ask me for it, we can definitely send you these slides too, so that you can go through. But those are good resources to be able to give to your donors so that they're safe with what they're doing with their probate. This is a slide kind of helping you help the donors find an attorney. So there's Martingale Hubble. You can search by location and the area. You can look for the preeminent rating. It's the highest mark of professional excellence and ethics. Avro is another one. You can browse profiles of the attorneys and their ratings and client reviews. And donors can submit anonymous questions to local probate attorneys, which is a really good thing, especially if they have a complicated case and they don't want to give them a retainer yet. So super lawyers, attorneys selected through a patented multi-phase process of peer nominations and independent research. These guys are really vetted. So it's a good thing. They can be a little bit more expensive though, too. So that you just have them kind of make sure that they talk that out with the attorney before as far as what the fees are. Your state bar is a really good place to go for the donors to go, so you can direct them to the state bar directories. Just visit your state bar. There's a find a lawyer tool on every one of those that verifies the listings. It flags any public disciplinary history, which is a really good thing that they do that. And anybody that's not supposed to be practicing law will also be in there. So, and then the county bar referral services, like I said, you want to keep everything local because those county laws can be in addition to the state laws. So they have to be versed in that too. A lot of them do offer a low cost or free 30-minute consultation with a qualified probate lawyer. So they can get kind of a general idea of what's going on. And then in those consultations, you can give your information again, and they can maybe bring you up again and say that, they've worked with you or whatever in the past. And that just gives you another little bit of qualification. Making the legacy ask. Okay, so this is going to be directly to the donor. Um, and it's going to be either somebody like that you already know that's given you donations for years and they decided to do this, or this is after the introduction from the probate attorney to the donor. So you're going to lead with their values and their impact, not legal jargon. So you really want to talk to them. You want to talk to them as a friend, and you want to talk to them as what great things that you're going to do with their legacy. So what's gonna have them go on making a difference through your service provided programs. So you're going to integrate legacy messaging seamlessly. You're going to when you go through and if you do it electronically or if you do it with just a piece of paper or however you want to do it, you're going to add check boxes, make it simple for them. So don't have them have to write an essay. Have them just do check boxes of how they want things to go. Or ask them to send information on leaving a gift in my will. So make it as simple as you can. You're going to share supporter stories, testimonials of donors who've committed a legacy gift in the past and why they chose to secure your future. So why did they choose you? And what the benefit was. Some of those might be from the family saying that, the really great work that's happening because of this gift. Dedicate a web space on your website. Just add another page that creates a legacy gift so you can acknowledge the donors. You're going to put in there, though, your legal name, your EIN, and sample will language. So I would put the donors in there that don't want to remain anonymous. So make sure that you have that as your part of your check boxes. Make sure that they don't want to, if they want to be anonymous, do not put them anywhere in anything that's public. But you put them in, and then underneath that, you're going to dedicate that web space to how others can do it. So you're going to have the list, and you're going to have how others can proceed and do that also. Speak relationally, relationally, not technically. So how you ask when you're speaking to the donors is so important. For instance, would you consider, instead of saying, would you consider a charitable bequest, say something like, would you consider making a lasting impact with a gift in your will? We need to grow our endowment fund. Oh my God. If that puts it all on, you're the beneficiary, and it has nothing to do with the donor. So saying something like that is just so off-putting. It just makes my skin crawl just reading that. But you want to say something like, we want to ensure our vital programs continue for the next generation. So you're acknowledging that their legacy is carrying forward through your programming. So be very careful about the way that you say these things. Can we discuss your estate planning? I mean, yeah. And I've heard these things, and that's why I put them in here. But can we talk about the legacy you want to leave with us? You see the difference there? You're acknowledging their life, and you're acknowledging that their life and their work and the benefits of that is carrying forward and going on. So be very careful about the way that you say things, and be inspiring. Here's the step-by-step way to do the Legacy Act. So you want to celebrate their history. You supported our horse rescue for 10 years for your ongoing donors. What first inspired you to get involved? And use that language going forward, when you're asking and saying the benefits of what's gonna happen with that money or whatever they donate to you. Introduce the future vision. So as we look to the next decade, our goal is that no horse in our community is ever left without a safe home. So That donor is causing that to happen. That is your future. That's what you're pushing forward towards. And it's because of them that that's happening. Can you see how that makes that solidifies that for them? Okay. Make the invitation. So don't be afraid of making the ask. Um, it's not it's not something that they haven't thought about, especially, if they're moving on in years. I mean, I think about it and I think about what I'm going to do. So make the invitation. Many of our closest friends protect this future with a gift in their will. It costs nothing today. Is that something you would consider? So can we put you and the other thing I wouldn't say it, but you can imply it that wills change. So if down the road they wanted to change something in that will, they can do it. And I wouldn't say that, but it can be implied, I think, that you say, just can we be put in the will, and then down the road, if something changes, then we just make the changes. So then offer a simple next step. Don't ask for the decision on the spot. Let them think about it. Let them ponder it. Give them your materials. Direct them to your website and the good work you're doing and all that stuff, and have them just kind of think about it. It's not, I mean, it is a big decision for their whole life. So you wanna let them ponder it and really make sure that they're making the decision that is best for their legacy. So offer to mail a one-page guide that they can review privately. I just do packets. When you meet with them, do that. But if you're not in person, if you're on the phone or whatever, you could mail it to them or email them an electronic version of it, but and let them look it over. But yeah, there's no rush. So partnering with attorneys. So this is a really good thing. So be the trusted resource for your clients' philanthropic goals. You want to have your own attorneys that do a good job, on top of giving them the resources, the bar associations and all that stuff. You want to have the attorneys that you trust and that. And to get those attorneys, you're going to do things like put together a packet that you're going to go in and meet with attorneys. Um, you can vet them yourself first before you do that, and then go in and just bring the packet with you. Say, this is what we're doing. These are our vision, our mission, our goals. This is how many. If it's horses, this is how many horses we've saved over the last 4 years. That kind of stuff, and then have them so they know you. And you're kind of the first one that comes to mind when somebody brings up, that they've had horses in their lives or whatever. So it's really important to partner with them. This is the kit kind of that I've used in the past. You, it's a really simple kit. You're going to put the legal essentials in there first. It's your legal name, your mailing address, and your FEIN or your EIN number. So that's just readily available. I put it in the header of, if I just do it on the Word document and make it a PDF, I'll put it in the header and with the logo just below or to the left. Sample will language, so you can copy and paste you can drop into just give them the language that can go into a will or trust. So you can kind of format that yourself. And this is the language I'm talking about is the language of your organization. So your mission, your vision, what you want to do in the next 3-4 years or 10 years or whatever, however you have that planned out in your strategic planning, however that is, just make it short, so it's language that is comparable to put into the will so that it's like your elevator speech basically, but just so that it's clear in the will who you are, what you do, and kind of what you're looking forward to doing, and that you're legitimate. So you'll have all your EIN number, all that stuff will be ready to go. Your acceptance policies, what non-cash assets you'll accept. So are you going to take stocks? You're going to take life insurance? Are you just going to take cash? But this is actually the non-cash assets. Is it going to be a tractor that they're going to donate? Is it going to be a vehicle they're going to donate to your organization? So just a listing of what you accept so they can take that to their clients and say, this is what they'll accept as a legacy gift. Your impact summary. So talk about your financial health, your accountability ratings, and your long-term sustainability planning. They want to know that their money is going to go towards something that's not going to disappear in a year, right? So you want to put that language in there so that they understand that, okay, well, because it's their life. It's their hopes, their dreams, their everything that they're putting into that, and they want to know that it's going to carry on. So that's kind of that kid. Again, target the legal networks. So you want to go to the bar associations. You can speak there, and it's a good way to get other attorneys involved. Make sure it's just probate, which don't go to injury lawyers or anything like that, any kind of conference like that, because it's not going to make any difference, and then it's just going to confuse the issue. So just make sure it's probate themed, and then just talk about what you're doing, and give them the little spiel and say this is how some of these. I keep bringing up horses because that's the mainstay of what I'm doing right now is kind of helping the horse industry and therapies and things like that. But if you have a client that is that, who's worked with horses all their life or whatever, at a ranch or whatever, that you can come to us. So like that. There's estate planning councils that you can attend and be a speaker and talk about the same things. And then community foundations. You can build a relationship with community foundations to just go in and speak. Again, there's veteran councils and a lot of things like that. So you can go in and have those conversations about what you do and how their gifts will make a difference. Their donor gifts or client gifts can make a difference. So those are just a couple of ideas. So you want to build relationships, and so one of the ways is to offer an educational briefing. So just like this, talking about what you do and basis of how you go forward with I understand there's a problem with the share right now. So if it doesn't come up, what we'll do with this in the future, I'll just be able to give you this, but I'm trying to get it to share, making sure that it is sharing correctly. Let me just check one thing. I'm just going to try this one more time. Okay. Well, if it's not sharing, it says it is. If it's not, we'll be at like I think it's number 19 is where it stopped. So I'll just go through this, and then I can get this to you if you have questions on it, or if you want to see the entire thing, all the slides. So building relationships. You can offer an educational briefing. So doing something like we're doing right now, you can even use this if you wanted to. It would be okay. I authorize that to have them understand what this is. But you're going to talk. It's going to be formatted towards your organization. and you're going to talk about yourself and then talk about legacy gifts a little bit. And then, yeah, like that. Use your board. Ask your board members or donors who are attorneys to introduce you to peers at their estate planning firms. So again, just talk yourself up. It's a really good thing to do. And, you got to be the front person of your organization anyway. So provide value first. Share a clean professional advisors page where an attorney can grab your EIN in simple language in under 60 seconds. So you want to have that all ready to go so they can look you up for one, because you can look up organizations through that EIN. And then you want to have that information ready. It's the same thing as with the grant proposals. I always put together a file that has all those main documents that you need for the proposal, that they're all ready to go, that you have them at a moment's notice. So get that together. Then your fact sheet, we kind of went over this already, but it's not bad to reproduce that. So your essentials are going to be your full legal name, your EIN, your mailing address, and then your 501c3 document, or your C9 or whatever you are, document, so that the IRS documents that people know that you're a public charity, that you're legitimate. Then give them why would you want to partner with this organization? Why would you want to partner with us? It's community impact. Let them know how many people you're serving each year, financial stewardship, the share of funds that go to the programs. What percentage of your donations goes directly to programming, and what percentage goes towards administrative? So you're really separating that out and make that a small amount that goes to administrative, and have it directly supporting the programming. So any marketing materials that are printed for the program, that's an administrative cost, but it's applied to the program itself. Long-term sustainability, you want to be able to give them that also, so that they know that their gift is going to go on and on. Right? Sample bequest language. Specific bequest for fixed amount. I give, devise, bequeath to our organization located at this address, the sum of this amount of money to be used for general tax exempt purposes. This is the language that's going to go into the will itself. Residuary bequest percentage. I give a percentage of the residue. Why did I put residue? Of my estate, both real and personal, to our organization for its general tax exempt purposes. And then a contingent bequest if the primary beneficiary does not survive me. I give their share to your organization for its general tax exempt purposes. So I know this is a lot, but like I said, it's going to be available, and it makes sense after you read it a couple of times too. Hopefully it's making sense now. All right, key takeaways. Legacy giving secures your mission for the next generation, and it starts with conversation. So these can be substantial. They can really change your organization. I mean, especially, I know with the horse industry, there's some people with a lot of money, and they'll donate. It can actually change the way that you operate. So know the basics, the types, the taxes, and when probate applies, which for me, it's pretty much almost always, because you really want that to be professionally done. Lead with values. Don't put in legal jargon. Talk to the donor like you want to talk to a friend. And be very clear, heartfelt about like what your mission is and what you're trying to accomplish, or what you're accomplishing. Normalize the ask. Weave legacy messaging into existing channels. So you want to, that's what I'm talking about, taking it to the councils and things like that. And then also partnering with attorneys as a trusted, well-organized resource, and make it effortless. Keep all of the information that you need, like your EIN, all that stuff. Have it ready. I just when I do printed materials, or I just have it on there. I put it in the header or the footer so that it's right there. And if if they need it on the fly, it's easily accessible. So that's kind of the key takeaways. And like I said, if you can't see these slides, I'm not sure if it's sharing or not. It's going to be on the website. Um, I'll I'll actually read my. Let's see if it's like okay. 1 second. All right, there we are. So that was kind of the summation of it, but I'm going to give you my contact information. I'll read it to you so that if you can't see the slide, that you'd be able to contact me. So my direct phone is area code 505-738-4689. My email is equine, EQUINE, grant, GRANT, writing, WRITING, equine grant writing @gmail.com. The website is equinehealingartsfundraising.com, but you can just Google equine fundraising support. Usually this comes up at the top. So you can find me that way. And then I have a Facebook page, Equine Fundraising Services too, that there's some information on there about upcoming grants and little tidbits of information. I don't want to say wisdom, but anyway, so that's it, you guys, for today. Next week will be number 12. And so hopefully you can attend that. I'm going to start to be able to share now these live if you want to join in, and because you have questions or things like that. So they'll be live in the future here, available. The link will be available. So that's it, you guys. I appreciate you, and good fundraising. Happy fundraising, and we'll see you next week.